We're joined here at our home in our Oaks gym in Dublin by an old friend of ours. We're around a long time. He's around the scene a long time, and I'm not just talking about Arlo. Ryan O'Rourke, it's great to see you again, pal. You're looking fitter and leaner and meaner than ever. How are you?
I'm good, man. Training away. Hopefully have some fight now soon. And just staying ready in the gym. Well,
from where I'm standing, you look ready and raring to go at the moment, but we won't give away too much. It's been a busy morning here in our Oaks gym. It's always hectic, isn't it? But it's great, and there's a great atmosphere around the place.
Oh yeah, Saturday mornings are great. You always get a good atmosphere.
Doghouse sparring.
Doghouse sparring, yeah. That's what they call it. But get loads of people coming from all over. It gets good rounds in. You can just come down and train if you want. There's always a good atmosphere, as you said.
Before we get into the meaty stuff and the interesting stuff from a pro side of stuff and from your career, mate, boxing and the cliche of mental health in boxing and everything, it's often overused and it's often underused. You see a lot of the characters here around the place in the mornings that people will never see and hear of. People that Brendan Ingle used to talk about that were making them better people. These guys we see in here, they're genuinely good fellas. They're tough, hard, scary-looking mofos, if you don't mind me saying. Man, there's some savage glutton for punishment, and we'll get some of the lads on. I might actually get a few of the lads on in the future, like some Monty and these lads. They're larger than life characters, but they're so genuine and they're so real. Talk to us a little bit about the importance of boxing and what it can bring to people's lives outside of the sport and the business itself.
It gives you discipline. It gives you purpose. It can give some people confidence. It can give you a lot of things that you might be lacking, and I feel like you'll never really truly experience it until you step into a boxing gym, and you'll never really know the feeling of walking into one until you do. And I think everybody at some stage in their career, whether it be not just boxing, any sort of martial art, they should give it a try. Maybe not fight, maybe they should. I think everybody should have at least one fight in their life.
Not just in the playground.
Not just in the playground. But to install many different disciplines in you. Any sort of boxing or martial art is great for everyone, I think, yeah. We
just chatted there with Dee Begley, who's a stalwart and a hugely established figure in the MMA world. She's just finished her camp and she's heading off this week to Detroit, at the Fighting City of Detroit from the Fighting City of Cork. She's done her whole camp with you. Is there much you can pick up, I suppose, from different disciplines and different sports and different, like, she would have brought all the wealth of knowledge that she's learned. I know she's trained here in O'Rourke's for the last few years, but from your point of view, are you able to take much from their preparation and how the MMA athletes are able to prepare?
Of course, yeah. You look at how they prepare, you know, the discipline they have to not just do one sport. They do multiple different sports. You know, as I said, how they prepare, not just fighting wise, but like health wise, lifestyle wise. You can take many different things from all different sorts of sports, not just combat sports, but like some people could take things from football, from F1 racing, from all different things. And what you do is you get everything. You try everything. You see things and you try things, and then what works for you, you kind of mold it all into one ball, and
you put together the team and the environment that works best for you. Speaking of team and environment, this is our home. We've come in here from day one. I said it to you. I spoke to you when you were an amateur. St. Michael's days. Stephen opened the doors to us, gave us time when nobody else did, and that'll never be forgotten. We're making our debut on screen here. Well, some of us are. And this is the best place to do it, mate. It's been coming a long time, but your team, your preparation, your environment feels pretty much like right now it's perfect. Is that fair to say? If there's such thing as perfect in boxing.
I don't think there's such thing as perfect in boxing, but maybe it's as close to it as I can get. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling in the best shape of my life. You know, I'm feeling as good as I've ever done. I'm feeling like I'm boxing the best I've ever boxed. So just waiting to get that fight day confirmed, and I'll be ready to go.
There's movement, there's openings, there's gaps, there's belts changing, there's everything happening all in and around that weight. Not just at the Irish scene. Even if we look at the British domestic scene, if we look at the European scene, if we look at that weight division and the one just above it, there's lots to be excited about, isn't there?
Definitely. I think 140 is the division to be at now. As you said, not just in Ireland, in the UK, Europe, but all the big players in the division, the likes over in America, they're all campaigning about the 140 division. So
I probably should know better than to ask this, because I know you well enough to know that you don't do call-outs. But is there a name on your lips at the moment?
You know me, I don't call out anyone out. But
we leave that to Stephen for a few minutes' time.
If anyone wants it, I'm ready to go.
it's an exciting time. And look, I'm going to talk, I suppose, focus mainly on the Irish scene right now, because there's a lot of fighters in around the 140 weight. There could be some really tremendous fights to be made, if they're allowed to be made. And I'm going to put my tongue firmly in my cheek when I say that. I think it's time now. It's time to start making fights on the value of the fights themselves and take everything else out of it and let boxing do the talking. Is that fair to say? Because it's only the boxers that are being punished at the moment.
I think that's very fair to say. Yeah, only the boxers are being punished at the moment. There's some good fights to be made out there, and some of them can't be made, not through any fault of the fighters or the boxing, but maybe a different side to it that not a lot of people may know about.
Not enough people.
Not enough people is right, yeah.
And I think it's like anything else. When things are done in dark corners and they're done in the dark, they're easier to keep in the they're able to keep in the dark, and they're able to be kept secret. It's not a topic for now, and it's not something that you need to get weighed down by, because, mate, you've got a busy couple of months ahead of you. Could we feasibly see a fight, 2 fights before the end of the year?
That's the plan.
Definitely one, anyway.
Definitely one. I'd love to get 2 in now, because as I said, activity is key, and as I'm progressing through my career now, I feel like I'm in the second stage of my career. You know, I've kind of went through your novice pro start, like your first 10 fights. I'm on to my next 10 now, which will probably define my career. So I need a lot of activity to push on towards the titles that I'm hoping to be winning in the next. There's the boss. The main man. Pushing on towards the titles that I'm looking towards, and I feel like I'm good enough to win. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's fair to say you're at that stage now of the career where all I won't say there's any easy ones, because there is no easy ones, but you've got the learning ones out of the way, and it's all this is the critical stage. You get to this crossroads where every fight is a step up. I know you well enough to know you're a calm, cool and composed fella, but that was tested, to say the least, in the last couple of months. You were back after a long absence of injuries. You got the preparation done, and just as we were about to pull the trigger, a little bit of a hiccup again. It didn't set you back. Well, not publicly, anyways. You're back on the horse now. As I said, activity is key. It's good to be back, I'd say.
Oh, it's great to be back. Yeah, you know, when you have a fight and you're in the midst of fight camp, you might be a little bit down, a little bit. Oh, I want to get in. I want to get this. Want to just get in and fight. But I think when you don't have a fight and you're just in the midst of things, you can be a little bit lost sometimes. You can be a little bit. What am I doing here? Like, I need a fight. You need something to work towards, I feel. And when you have that fight date, you really lock in. You feel that. Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that time you were out. It's easy to say, I was out for a year, I was out for whatever. It's a whole lot more to that. There's a whole lot more comes with that. I think even on Civvy Street, when any of us have stuff going on, everybody has stuff going on, and when you've got problems, when you can't do the thing that gets you away from all your problems, does that become a bigger issue? Everything seems to be magnified then, doesn't it?
I think it does, yeah. I think it made me miss the sport. Even though I never really left it, I was still training every day around me injury. I think I've really brought back a big passion for it. It made me want to, them months that I missed out, it made me want to get them back and get them back quick. It made me really want to push on the next few months and see where I can really go in the sport, yeah.
So we got back, we got a little setback just before the comeback. You got back, you're back in the loose now, you're back in the niche, and just as you get back at it, your fight in America gets changed, everything gets very strange, to say the least. Even in the boxing, strange, in the world of strange things in boxing, that was strange. You had to cope with something else that was peculiarly strange. It said the first time in your pro career. Talk to us about the corner and the preparation for the fight and everything else. It was strange, I'd say, even in the strange world.
Yeah, of course, my dad he wasn't in my corner for my last fight, which would be my first one as a pro. So the last time would have happened, it would have been well over 10 years ago in the amateurs. The last time he wasn't in my corner, so it was definitely a little bit different. But yeah, it was good. I had my cousin Danny. You know, he's going to be coming into the team a lot more in the next few fights. He'll be in the corner hopefully for the next fight again. But it was good to have a different aspect and a different look while you're in the corner. Of course, I like to have my dad there, and it'll be great to have him back for the next one. But yeah, it was definitely different.
We're talking, of course, of Danny Randall, who, if anyone is not familiar, look him up. He's a key player in the boxing scene in GB in Manchester, and he's a big part of Team O'Rourke here in the background. He'll be a credit. We're looking forward to getting him on as well at some point. But yeah, you overcame that. I think, Ryan, that goes to show exactly how far you've come, not just as a person, but as a pro. I suppose the whole lot blending together as one, because that could have been a bigger problem. And it could have become an issue in fight week and fight camp and everything else. It didn't. You dealt with it, you coped with it, you handled the opponent, and you got the win under your belt. Where are we going from here? Can you say?
As I said, hopefully I'll have fight news real soon. Get 2 in by the end of the year. Hopefully within 3 I'll have a title. And
your stablemate, your teammate, Keane is back. He'll be back shortly. The Iceman, of course, big shout out to Keane. Looking forward to catching him soon. And John Cooney will be back soon too. He's got a big fight coming in York Hall. They're all exciting venues. There's some big shows to come over the next. I think we've gone through the boxing summer holidays. This time next year I'm going to do it, and I know it's a dangerous thing to do for boxers, especially when things don't always go according to plan. But if you could look at a perfect scenario this time next year, what would it be for you?
It would be plenty of fights, my first belt, and keeping the winning streak.
Just one.
Well, we'll take the one for now and see how we get on. But yeah, at least one belt, plenty of activity, and keeping the winning streak going.
Well, listen, Ryan, it's been brilliant to catch up with you. I always love catching up with you. Always love chatting, and we're looking forward to doing a whole lot more of it in the coming couple of days and weeks.
Thanks very much, Al.